If I may, attention please. Can you join me in welcoming the class of MSS15 who is now entering the room? Your Excellencies present, dear members of the BOT, of course, dear students and alumni, my friends, the staff and staff emeritus, dear guests, and I would rather wrap it up by saying dear all, which is very appropriate today, because I think, to my knowledge, we have never had such an audience in ISU for a graduation ceremony, and we're absolutely pleased for that. Also, little apologies for the people who are looking online, some of them with a big time difference due to the massive attendance here, which we are enjoying. We are starting a little bit late, but we'll try to catch it up. As I said, all, I really mean it. This is not an understatement. I hope everybody finds a place even, but I guess the room is big enough. We have a very special event today, which is 20 years MSS here in Strasbourg. We tried to bring that and pack that in a total picture, and you may have seen a number of elements of it in the streets. In the streets of Strasbourg you will find, thanks to the support of the locals, you will find 135 panels on very crucial places talking about ISU. This is also the first time we managed that, so I hope this brings a lot of publicity to ISU, and I think all of us, we have already witnessed that people are coming to us privately and say, I had it yesterday evening, by the way, in this ISU, can you tell me something more about? We also timed it this way that we have launched a new website, and I hope that everybody who has not looked at it after this meeting, so stay in the room please, is going to have a look at it. It's a very dynamic and a more modern website. The organizing group worked very hard to make this event and all this, let's say, all these events and all this what's happening now working. Christine, Geraldine, Pavey, the technical group, at one challenge, and the MSS15 group probably knows what I'm talking about. The weather was terrible here in Strasbourg, but also that we managed. Just at the last minute, and probably only for today, because I think tomorrow is going to rain. So enjoy Strasbourg in the sunshine. That challenge is off. I would like to introduce something which I know a number of people. I think this is the first experiment we are doing in expanding the 3 I's. I believe, but I can be wrong, you can correct me, I think Francois Becker came up with this 3I idea of international, intercultural and interdisciplinary. Everybody's pointing to each other like success has many fathers. I have learned that expression now. And I think we are now witnessing and we're experimenting, we'll see if it works, with a fourth eye, which is intergenerational. And I don't say that we should introduce it, but I think we have here an experiment whereby we see as well from the student point of view, as from the faculty point of view, that generations are meeting. This is now, with time passing, something that will happen more often. So this experiment means that at the moment we have 3 MSS classes. If we want to be absolutely correct, Chris, I think 4. We have an MSS15. We have the first graduate from the second year MSS15. We have an MSS16. And in order to be sure that they are not going to fight with each other, we put another MSS class in between, which is the MSS class of 1996, 20 years ago, who met yesterday evening. And I hope they, I witnessed that this was quite impressive to see the bond of 20 years ago, which was still very strong, and how the people were enjoying that. I picked up something for the MSS 96 class, which I wanted to do you a favor. I heard yesterday a discussion about the link budget. So we organized, as we are a very responsive organization, we immediately organized somebody to come down, Professor Michel Bousquet. So at 4 o'clock this afternoon, you will have an exam from Michel Bousquet about the link budget. You ask for it, you get it. So we didn't ask you to bring your diplomas with you, so don't worry. the exam is will be okay. As I said, it is very difficult for me in such an environment to try to virtually address all of you. There are so many important people here. These days, I'm also honored. I have not seen him yet, or is he there? I'm honored to have somebody in the is announced, which is in fact the president from when you were Roland Doré. Roland is there. There is Roland. Accompanied by his spouse. So that is another of these intergenerational things that we have here. 2 presidents with a gap of 20 years between us, but it shows the continuity of ISU, and in 20 years and in 200 years it will still be there. I'm not going to be there in 200 years, but in 20 years I have a bit of hope, but that's another story. That I will be sitting in your place, Roland. And by the way, I had to train a lot because the people had already told me a few times that I always said Eric Doré. But I corrected it, so this time I didn't make the mistake. A number of people could not be here, and you found some messages, amongst others from Joe Pelton, and from other people who could not be here. They were on a panel, very nice messages. I discovered also that there is another intergenerational element, which I found very interesting. The class of MSS 96 did also, like MSS 15 did and MSS 16 is supposed to do, did also a team project. And I must say I found it very visionary that you did a team project showing that if climate change is not getting under control, the risk is that 25% of the Earth's surface, would become a desert. That was your team project. Unfortunately, it seems to be happening. There are a few elements, but it's not 100%. Some countries are doing something, but so very visionary. The only remark I have to give, I love your acronym, SAND. I have a bit of problem with the title, which is a bit long, and which would, if I would call it here, might give me a complete overrun of my time slot that has been allocated. I really admire how you got a long title and then got it into SAND, but the title is a bit long, so I'm not going to... it's brilliant, your vision at that moment. It's a little bit of a pity that people did not listen to you. Maybe the migration problems that we are facing now would have been a little bit less with people forced to come over because they have food problems. So again, you did something which has survived the times. At this moment, we are going to go into the first group again, MSS15. This is the key of this event. So we're going to go over to the graduation of that group. We have an enormous luck also this time that we have the Chancellor of ISU here present, Professor Dordain. Just a few words before I hand over to Professor Welsh to address you. Professor Dordain has an engineering degree from a famous school in Paris, the École Centrale. I believe also François Becker comes from that school. Is that correct? Yes, if my memory is good. He started working in space project at the French research organization, which is called ONERA. His emphasis there was mainly on theoretical physics, fluid dynamics, and propulsion systems. I got a very nice introduction to the motor of Ariane 1 a few minutes ago, very, very instructive. Then he joined ESA, where he did many important functions, and I'm not going to give the whole list of functions, but he was operational in strategy, human spaceflight launchers, in order to, at the end, at 2003, to become the Director General of ESA, which just terminated now as a very long, successful career. And by the way, I think you put a record will be not easy to beat of SDG in ESA. But he also has continued in parallel to that to have a very strong academic career. So he has been professor maybe in the fields of fluid mechanics and propulsion. I just name a few ones. Supaero Toulouse, École Polytechnique Paris, you've been teaching, La Sapienza, Italy, TU Graz. So besides your very busy schedule, you were also an academic and a very respected academic. And there is also one aspect I would like to, which maybe many of you do not know, of Jean-Jacques Dordain, is that to show how broad his interest is, he was also on the list of the 5 finalists for the French astronaut selection. So it shows that we have here somebody very exceptional who did a strong agency career, a strong academic career, but also has a broad interest in many aspects of space. At this point, I think we tackle our generational challenge, and I would like to ask Professor Welsh if he could take over to work with the first and today very important group of students who are graduating MSS15. Thank you very much.
So, Chancellor Dordain, President Peters, faculty, distinguished guests, Board of Trustees members, graduates new and somewhat older, alumni, friends, family, students, everybody. It gives me very great pleasure to present to you the graduates of the Master of Space Studies class 2015. First is Ahmed Abdi. There's your certificate. Open up the certificate. Don't stand in the middle there.
So we're going to show you how we're going to do it now for the next 40 times.
Kyle Asiano. Congratulations, Kyle. Prateep Basu.
Congratulations, Prateep. And there's your badge.
James Bevington.
Joe Jones, congratulations. There's your badge.
Guang Zhen.
Congratulations, John.
Elizabeth Esther.
Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Lei Gong.
Congratulations.
Karan Gujarati.
Congratulations to her. Very well done.
Melissa Guzman, who is also the winner of the Institute for Interstellar Studies Alpha Centauri Prize.
Congratulations. Very well done. And you got 2 certificates.
Melissa gets 2 certificates. Christopher Kenny, who is also cum laude.
Congratulations on the thing.
Yang Lu. Meng Yue Qiu. Hamza Regala. Brian Ramos, who is MSS cum laude and winner of the 20th Anniversary Apogee Award for the Best Graduating Student today.
Congratulations. Very well done.
Jean-François Rococo.
Congratulations, Claire. Very well. Thank you very much.
Abigail Sheriff.
Congratulations, Abby. Very well done.
Nuruddin Suleiman.
Congratulations.
Guoba Wang. Zhao Yi.
Congratulations. Very well done.
Peng Zuo.
Congratulations.
Now it gives me a special pleasure to give the very first award of MSc with thesis. Okay, we'll be seeing more of these in future years, I'm sure, but the very first one ever to Daniela Stupar.
Congratulations, Daniela. Congratulations, Daniela. Very well done.
We're not finished with MSS15 yet. The actual class size this year is 47, and for those of you who've been counting, we've had about 20-something graduates so far. The reason for this is, as part of the master's program, people go and do internships from which they have mostly just returned and just graduated. However, occasionally students succeed in extending their internships from 3 months to 6 months, in which case they graduate at Christmas. This year's class, MSS15, have been fantastically successful at this, to the extent that half the class are not graduating today because they're on extended internships. Some of them are still in different places around the world, in California, at Ames and places like that. Some of them have been able to return today, and we're now going to introduce them. They won't get the badge yet, I'm afraid, because they're not graduating, but they will get a transcript, and they get photographed with the Chancellor and the President, and we hope that this will inspire them to complete their internships and get amazingly good grades. That's the deal. So without any more ado, Elias de Andrada.
Congratulations.
Matteo Aquilano.
Congratulations, Matteo. Well done.
Guillaume. Oh, no, wait for it. No photo yet. Guillaume Brunner. Good to see you again. Chacha Suvana.
Congratulations, Chacha. See you later.
Aurélien Chavot. Marcy Friot. Bye, Marcy. Juan Esteban Cormado Gonzalez. Fabien Guillaume. Daphne de Jong.
Congratulations, Daphne.
Martin Jussi. Micah Kletka. Christian Lazar. Shreya Santra.
Congratulations, sir.
Mansoor Shah. And Anderson Wilder. Chancellor, President, that concludes the presentation of the MSS2015 class. Thank you very much.
So I already introduced him, so may I now ask the Chancellor?
Actually, my mistake. Student representatives.
Oh, we first have to hear a number of, I don't know, salient remarks from the student representatives, so maybe afterwards your speech may have to be changed. So can we...
My apologies, that was me being so relieved to have finished that. So I would now like to invite our two student speakers for today, Carl Asiano and Juan Gonzalez, to come on down and present their view of MSS2015.
No? Can you hear me? Yeah? Is it working, the mic? Okay. Just checking, right?
I don't think mic's working. Testing. Oh,
There you go.
that's good. I'd like to start today with a quote from one of my favorite authors, Henry David Thoreau. As the skies appear to a man, so is his mind. Some see only clouds there, some prodigies and gods. Some rarely look up at all, their heads are directed towards earth. Some see purity, beauty, serenity. Some see the future. Staff, faculty, distinguished guests, MSS 1996, graduating class of 2015, and incoming class of 2016, hello to everybody watching online, welcome. Welcome to Strasbourg. Welcome to the 20th anniversary ceremony. Welcome to the International Space University. For some of you, it's your first time here. With enthusiastic hearts and energetic eyes, you cannot wait to get started. For others, you are tired. You're so incredibly tired. You spent the last 9 months basically living in this building, and you just want to go home and get some sleep. For others, you are alumni, you work here, you represent agencies or commercial enterprises, and you come here year after year because you care about the future of this university. On behalf of the MSS 2015 class, thank you. Thank you for your vision, for your labor, and for your advocacy.
So today we're here to show everyone just what has become of this, after these 20 years, what has become of the master program. This last year we had some great times and some that were not that great. Well, at ISU we had a number of activities that left us with unforgettable experiences of what is to work and live in an international, interdisciplinary, and intercultural environment. This is why we have divided the speech into this narrative. First, we'll talk about the international nature, the interdisciplinary approach taken, then about some of the cultural activities that we had through the year, and then we'll talk about the meaning of the university to us and its footprint. So first, international. We like to say that word. It's a beautiful word. You see the flags, but look around. You have people from all continents for sure, some 40 countries. And this, yeah, okay, yes, and each one of us here is intrinsically different. But this program brought all of us to work together with our differences, to work together with our own precepts and visions of life. For example, imagine me working with my friend Matteo. He's Italian. Apparently, every half an hour you have to have a coffee break. Coffee break. Then you would be with some other Chinese students, for example, and no break whatsoever. That's what we have to cope with, right? This program helps us break with paradigms, help us see through what we think and understand of others, and with so many things happening in the world, just really, so many things happening in the world. We need more of this. There are so many things, and we have to learn to share, to understand each other. And that's a lesson that ISU, for me, is one of the most important lessons that ISU has left for me. We cherish, hold up in high regard, and value others and respect their cultures and traditions. Yes, that is one of our classmates. And on top of all this diversity, this international diversity, you have to take into account that we are all from different educational backgrounds as well.
Which brings us to the interdisciplinary nature of this program. Space efforts are essentially scientific and technical endeavors which need to take place and be managed within a legal and policy framework, all on a sound economic basis. While some universities may just concentrate on one, here at ISU, we focus on them all. Well, what does that look like? Every day at ISU is different. If we have Professor Welsh's class, we start every day at 10 a.m. sharp. If we have Professor Zervos' class, we start a little bit later. We could learn about astrodynamics in the morning, how to rescue astronauts in the afternoon. We will spend all night working to crack the racket equation so that we can have a successful launch in the morning. We learned how to build satellites, about risk matrices, link budgets too. We learned about space policy and apparently how to give massages in the shower. You can ask Melissa about this one. At the end of a long day, of course, there is always a cold beverage waiting for us in the fridge.
So, intercultural. Throughout the year at ISU, we tried to live each other's cultures. We're in France, so we had a lot of this. we had interesting and full of life cultural nights with traditional food. I do like to eat a lot. And all of us would gather to share our culture with each other. We had dances, food, drinks, and we talk about culture and life in our countries. I didn't know, for example, that in Ireland, Irish people like to dress like leprechauns. Oh, there it is, they're leprechauns. Like to dress like leprechauns and throw candy all around while drinking green beer. None heard of in Guatemala. Culture, but in a broader sense. Culture is such a large concept. And everyone in our class represented their cultures and amazed us with their inspiring traditions. Now, everyone here at ISU knows us the International Space University, but us insiders, we have a couple of other names for it.
The Insufficient Sleep University. So to the incoming class, September is a fantastic month. Sure, this week is a little bit busy, but after that, the weather is fantastic. Barbecues at Baggersay, you remember, Juan? It's beautiful. But then October comes. Things start to speed up. Before you know it, Christmas comes and goes, and you have team projects, individual assignments, tests.
Did you find your internship yet?
No? Did you hand in that paper?
What paper? Can you help me with my bike?
Your bike is broken again? Man, are you cooking tacos tonight?
Claro, amigo.
Yeah.
And what's the end result of all of this hard work?
Well, the net result is whenever you can, wherever you can, for as long as you can, you nap. We actually had a dedicated nap room. But when the nap room was full, we slept on the couches, in the library. And some people, no names, even slept at their desk, ironically, a lecture about sleep. There's another name for ISU, one that Juan made himself.
So, the Intercontinental Supper University. This year, we had a lot of lunches. And food is one of my things. My class probably noticed, you have probably noticed in this speech, that I love food. And no, unfortunately, it was not me who ate this chicken. It was this guy here. We ate from Brazilian feijão to American barbecue to Chinese dumplings and Indian andakari. Yeah. I don't know what is it about food that helps people bond with each other. We would cook, share, drink, eat together. Some would drink a bit. Now some would drink a lot. Now for that matters no picture, else I'll be kicked after the speech. But we will learn to cherish these moments. We cherish these moments and we say to the upcoming class, foment these moments. These moments are important for you to learn to know each other, to be together, and to create links that will likely remain for years and years to come. And like this, we enlarge the ISU family.
So Juan was talking about family, and family is all about community building. And here at ISU, what you just saw was the traditional program that the masterminds created. But above and beyond all of that, students made their own initiatives, and this year we were constantly organizing. Some of the things had to do with space. This year we successfully organized Space Up, which was a tremendous success. We also made the first MSS patch, which you'll be hearing about a little bit later. Someone also organized Movember, where some of the most handsome and distinguished members of our faculty grew mustaches. Also women. This year, students came together to draft and pass our first constitution, which will help next year's students to navigate ISU. We also organized open mic nights. We went on ski trips. We went to UN COPUS to learn more about space law, and we even went to Russia.
But all of us know that the ISU community is much larger than that, than what we saw and heard here today. It's an international community, and as we celebrate the 20th year of these master's programs, it is up to all of us to envision the future of the International Space University Master Program.
Students of the 2016 class, you are the newest members of this family, and you have a duty to continue to uphold the traditions that will be passed down to you.
Graduating class 2015, ISU has provided us a stone to step on, and as you progress through life, try to think also not only on what ISU can give to you, but how can you give back to this amazing university.
And to all of the people who have dedicated so much of their time and their life to the International Space University, your service will never be forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, the space community is expanding, evolving, and continuing to push the frontiers. Let us all work together to do the same for the International Space University. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, buddy.
So you forced me to try to invent another acronym on the spot. The Interesting Speech University. By the way, you are, just as information, as you're talking about alumni, you're now 4,000. You're over 4,000 alumni now. So this is the moment where also some of us have been waiting for. We have now the enormous honor to have the Chancellor, the second Chancellor after Arthur C. Clarke, with us, Professor Dordain. So we're looking forward to what he's going to tell us. Thank you, Mr. Dordain.
Thank you very much. Very glad to be with you today. As I say in most of my speeches, you are Director General for a limited time, you are a professor forever. So I think that this is the reason why I like universities, because this is where I live also. So to be with you, all of you, was it was already said, it's exceptional, because I came from time to time to the university, but this is the first time that we have three classes together, and I think that it's, and I shall come back to that, because I think it's a very, very good idea, which should be extended in the following years, because this is very important to have this combination of generations, because we are all together. We are representing a family, the university family, and we are representing a combination of different expertise, that it was already said, different nationalities, different roles, different generations, but with one common passion, space, and one common and strong belief. This is the importance of space, not only for the life of today, but even more, and I shall insist on that, even more for the future of humanity on planet Earth. Just because planet Earth belongs to space, and not the other way around. Space is our origin, and is our future. We are all coming from space. I think that it was 2 years ago that ESA, I had the privilege to disclose the fossil light just after the Big Bang, with coming from the Planck mission. And when you look at this fossil light, which was only 380,000 years after the Big Bang, so it's a light which is more than 13 billion years old. When you look at this fossil light, we are all coming from there. It took a long way. And a succession of very complex processes which we don't yet understand fully. But it took that long way to be here today together. And that is from where we are coming from. Space has always been important for humanity. To understand where we are and who we are. It took centuries for humans to understand, and even more time to accept. Because you understand, and sometimes even if you understand, you don't accept. So it took a long time for humanity to accept that we are not the center of the universe. And humanity has done that just by observing the lights at night. This was by looking at space. That our ancestors could understand that we were not the center of the universe. But even they were using these lights to measure the time, to travel, meaning that we are using space since very, very long. And today we cannot live anymore without space. For understanding planet Earth, for monitoring planet Earth, for forecasting the weather, for communicating, for navigating, and so on and so on. You know all what we are doing with space. And our space dependence will continue to increase. Because space is a vector of knowledge, is a vector of services for the citizens, vector of competitiveness, meaning a vector of growth and quality of life on planet Earth. And that will increase. But space has brought even much more than that, much more than that. Space has brought to humanity 3 messages, which are vital for the future, and that you have to keep with you. First message, planet Earth is finite, meaning that the resources of planet Earth are finite. We have not infinite resources on planet Earth. The second message is that planet Earth is one. There is not several parts of planet Earth. It's only one, meaning that our future is collective. There is no individual future on planet Earth. And that has a consequence on the resources. We have to share the resources. And the third message coming from space is that planet Earth is unique. As Monsieur Ban Ki-moon is saying, there is no planet B. Our future is definitely linked to planet Earth with its finite resources. Obviously, we could have known these 3 messages without going to space, but going to space, and especially sending humans to space, has provided witnesses who could report of what they have seen. And in that sense, and I always say that Apollo 8 has been a breakthrough in the history of humanity. Much more than Apollo 11. The fact that the US flag, and I have said that already in Washington, D.C., the fact that the US flag was the first on the moon is totally irrelevant with the present world. What is still relevant is what Bill Anders was saying Christmas '68, when the crew came back from the hidden part of the moon. Bill Anders has said, we have made all this way to explore the moon, and the most important thing is that we have discovered planet Earth. And that is a message which is still relevant, and I would say even more and more relevant every day. And this is so true that it took only 3 years between Apollo and the first report, which is a fantastic report, the Meadows report, 1972, made by some young researchers of the MIT, which was a book on the limits of growth in a finite world. And in 1972, this book was not considered as an important book. But I can tell you that 40 years later, there is now a book every week based on that story of the limits of growth in a finite world. So we, the space fan, we have an important duty to make life on planet Earth possible in the long term. Because there are a lot of threats on planet Earth. Climate change, and I was glad to see that the first MSS has chosen the climate change for their project. So there is climate change, but there is also the space weather, asteroids, shortage of resources. There is a lot of threats. All threats which could become lethal for humanity on planet Earth. Just the dinosaurs still remember of that. So it's no use to be afraid, because we are living in a real world. We are not living in an ideal world. We have just to take actions and to face the challenges. And the biggest difficulty when you face challenges is to take decisions. It's always easier not to take decisions. And that I know that. I can tell you that being the Director General of ESA, I know that the easiest path is not to take decision. But we have to take decisions. Not easy to take decisions, because taking decisions is making choices. And making choices is to take risks. And the worst for any people is to take risks. But what I know, and what you know, is that this is urgent to push the frontiers of knowledge and to explore the unknowns. And this is what we have to do all together. This is the task of everyone, starting by all of us, from all nationalities, from all generations, with all our different expertise, experience, and culture. Each individual has an essential role for shaping the future. Each generation has to take their duty and responsibility. And this is the reason why education and global cooperation are the two fundamentals of the future. Education is fundamental because the world is more and more complex. And in a more and more complex world, you have to be more and more educated. And also because the brains of our children are the only natural resources which are fully renewable, meaning that this is the only natural resources which is not finite, provided we take the actions to make them not finite resources. But the only way to take benefit of these brains is to educate them. And this is the reason why education is a priority. And I don't know if you read Newsweek, but just to say that when I have been asked by Newsweek, you have every week, you have the 6 same questions raised to one person. If you rule the world, and you have 6 questions, and the first question is, what is the law that you would enforce as a matter of urgency? And I have answered education. Education for all children of the world. Because I am a strong believer in the fact that education will improve the world. And space is a fantastic vector for education. Look at children with astronauts. And that all children want to be an astronaut when they have the opportunity to meet an astronaut. And you have one here. This is where space is also important for education. The second fundamental is cooperation. And this is global cooperation, not excluding anyone. Global cooperation is also fundamental for the future in order to design a collective future and not an individual future. And cooperation is multifold. It's cooperation among all nationalities, we have said that. And space has been a fantastic motivation for cooperation. Remember the race to the moon. As I said, the US flag, but the first one, 69. It took 6 years only to have Apollo-Soyuz, meaning that after the race was over, we knew the winner. It was okay. But 6 years later, it was Apollo-Soyuz. Couple of years later, it was Space Station Freedom with 4 partners. Couple of years later, it was the International Space Station, 5 partners. And as Mike Griffin was saying, the partnership of the space station will stay much longer than the hardware. Meaning that we have managed to build this cooperation in space. And we have, and I am a strong supporter of having new partners on board that space station or another space station. That is not the issue. But no one should be excluded in that cooperation. It's also cooperation among different expertise. It was said by the representative of MSS2015. We need a lot of expertise. Yes, we need engineers, we need scientists, but we need a lot of different expertise and more different expertise in a more and more complex world. Among the expertise, we need investors also. And that is an important aspect of the expertise that we need. And it's also cooperation among different generations. And this is the reason why I'm glad that today there are different generations together. Because this is by exchanging between the generations. Exchanging, and I am not saying transmitting only from the old to the young. It's an exchange. I can tell you that I am learning every day by exchanging with the other generations. Because the young generations, MSS15, MSS16, they have not yet met the frontiers of the impossible. They don't know that there is a frontier. For them, everything is possible, which is good. While the experienced generation, we have spent our life to push the frontier of the possible. And by exchanging among these different generations, we can make miracles. And we have to do that. So underlining the importance of education and cooperation is underlining the importance of the International Space University, because this is what we are. And I am proud to be the Chancellor of ISU. And I am glad to see that at ISU the cooperation is increasing. You know, I am signing the diploma So I am realizing every year that there is more and more nationalities, and especially extending the nationalities to Asia, to Africa, and that is good. We are increasing the international aspect of ISU. There is also more and more cooperation among the generations, and as I said, 4,000 alumni, that is a fantastic family, provided there is an exchange among the generations, and that should be organized. I am glad also to see that the education is improving with more and more lecturers from more and more nationalities and more expertise. And education and cooperation shows that the technical expertise is not the only expertise. Maybe human expertise is even more important than the technical expertise, meaning that part of the education is the human education. Living, eating, working together, as you are doing here, is very important. So, bravo Isu for what you are and what you are doing. So it's time for me to conclude, to just thank and congratulate all those who are making ISU. First, the staff of the resident faculty, who are dedicating their talents, their time, I would say their life, to the university and its students. The local authorities also, who have continuously supported ISU. The members of the Board of Trustees. You, the members of the Board of Trustees, you have to report and to convince your authorities about the importance of ISU, not only for today, but even more for the future. The alumni who are representing today the ISU community all over the world, you can enter ISU, but you cannot leave ISU. It's like in Hotel California. And thank to you to be here today. It's a strong motivation for the young ones to exchange with you. You also, the new class entering ISU. I wish you to enjoy every minute of your stay at ISU. Even you, and you will enjoy even more, because I have understood that there is no night, so it's a good, it's a good opportunity to have 2 years in one, and so use every minute to learn, not only to learn again the technical aspects of space, but the human aspects of space. That is as important. Don't worry. You, the new class, you will never walk alone at ISU. This is another song which is very popular to the Liverpool fans. And, but you will never walk alone. And don't miss the opportunity to exchange with the previous generation of students. And last but not least, since today, we are celebrating the class 2015. Congratulations for your performance, for your work, for your diploma. But it's like for a marathon. Training is over. You have now to take responsibility. You have to take risks. You have to manage the risks by working as a team. You have to change the world. Don't let the world change you. Change the world. But don't forget to dream. And I make a promise based on a Chinese say, but also on my personal experience. If you enjoy every minute you work, you will never work. Meaning that you will continue to work as long as you enjoy. So, enjoy.
So, thank you, Chancellor Dordain, for that inspirational speech. I hope all of us, not just the graduating class and the students, but all of us at whatever age, whatever stage in our careers, take on board the basic message that was in there. It's now time, if you like, for the second half of the proceedings. I have to introduce in a minute the new class. Before we do that, though, I'd like to follow on from some of our Chancellor's comments. Obviously, the master's program would not be possible without a resident faculty and a staff here in Strasbourg. The people who deliver the programs, who keep everything operating, whether it's the master's program, the library, the building, the IT. There's a whole group of people who are based here in Strasbourg who keep the program going. So I'd like the faculty and all of the ISU staff to please stand up. Okay, so that everybody can see who they are. So thank you to my colleagues. Yes, everybody. Yes. You too, Christine. That's everybody, not just the faculty. Everybody. So, thank you very much. I hope that wasn't too embarrassing. Just embarrassing enough, maybe. We have to take risks from time to time, as we've heard. It's now my pleasure to introduce the incoming class of MSS16. I'm not going to be reading their names out. They are going to be coming down here one at a time. Their brief is to speak for no more than 30 seconds. Okay, so recall that. Okay, the class of MS6, you have 30 seconds to introduce yourselves, who you are, where you're from, and why you've come to ISU, what you hope to get out of it. Come on down, MSS16.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Stimmer. I'm originally from the States, from New York City. I graduated the City University of New York in 2009 with a double concentration in economics and international relations. I've been working in Japan for the past 6 years. And for the past 3 years, I've been an executive committee member of the Noshiro Space event there, which is an event that has students as young as elementary school up until university age. And it's a science and engineering event in relation to space. And I became involved because I really do believe, like I think most of us in this room, we have a story of when we're young about how we developed our passion in space. And I think it's really important to create those opportunities to explore that passion in space, science, and engineering for young people. And I'm looking forward to my year at ISU. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Paul Vore. I'm French. I graduated from the Political Science School in Bordeaux in 2014. And my passion for space, it came and it grew around 2 years ago. So I'm very young in this endeavor. And I believe that space might be and will be the future of mankind. And I also believe that, as one famously said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. And I think the people who are making the future and who are inventing the new solutions, the new ways of inventing and conquering and pushing the frontier are in this very room. And I'm very proud and happy to be at the International Space University MSS16. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Gagan Agrawal from India. I worked with ISRO for a reusable launch vehicle technology project as a aerodynamics and aeroelasticity engineer. But on the side, we wanted to generate interest among space science in India, so we founded the first model rocket engine company in India. There were none of them before that. And we burnt a few hands, a few explosions, but then finally we are sure that we'll inspire 1 million Indians to join space science and rocketry. And with that inspiration, I come here, look forward to learn more and more about space and work there. Thank you.
Ciao everyone, I'm Martina Russitano Lanza from Palermo, Italy. I graduated 2 years ago in physics, but I've always focused my studies to astrophysics. So I made my bachelor degree in thesis in about X-ray binary systems, and I made also a traineeship at European Space Astronomy Center in Madrid. I really like to be here. I'm very excited to be here, and well, I love space, and I want to share my passion with every one of my colleagues and with every one of you. So I'm very excited. I'm sorry, very nervous too. So well, I'm very proud to be here. Really, I got no words to say that. Thank you so much for giving me this chance and this opportunity.
Hello everybody, I'm Veena Shalvankar from India. I've undergraduated in electronics and communications, and I've done a couple of courses in cosmology and solar astronomy. So space always amazes me, and I'm here today to learn more about space and interact with people from all over the world. I'm glad to be here, and thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Shantini from India. I graduated this year. I did my bachelor's in aeronautics engineering. So I'm so excited to continue my master's here. And my hearty wishes to all the graduates. Thank you.
Welcome. Hello everybody, my name is Julien Bernard. I'm French, and I graduated 3 years ago in aerospace engineering, and after I started to work in Denmark as a space mission analyst, and I came back to France to work as a operation engineer for French defense in telecommunication satellite. And now I came here to develop my knowledge of space and to meet other people who share the same passion of space activities. So thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, good morning, vanakkam, namaste. I am Mohammad Maktoum from India. I did my bachelor's in aeronautics 3 years ago, and I was working as an airport operational system engineer in Jeddah Airport. Like, my interest lies in propulsion and space exploration, so I felt empty in my job, especially when I read about launches and then finding a new planet. That it was really exciting when I read about a planet that was full of made up of diamond. So I thought, why not make a racket and grab it out and settle down in my life? So that's why I'm here. And I want to finish it off with my quote from my mentor. That's about dream. Dream is not what you see in sleep. Dream is what that does not let you sleep. Thank you.
Hi there, my name's Adam King. I'm from the States as well, from Houston, Texas. I graduated this year with a bachelor's in science degree in chemistry from St. Edward's University. And I come to ISU after completing a NASA Academy internship at Marshall Space Flight Center, where I studied sorbent interactions with water on the International Space Station. And I'm so excited to learn and contribute with all my peers this year. So thank you.
Hi. Hello, my name is William. I'm from the UK. I graduated with a BSc in physics in 2013 and then worked in the semiconductor industry. I was installing prototype photolithography machines for ASML. It's been my dream to work in space exploration. I really want to get into probes like Voyager. Is like the best thing in the world for me. So yeah, that's about it. This is the perfect place. I can't wait to get started. Thank you.
Hey, taking chances. My name is Mads Jacob Kallis Hedegaard. I was born and raised in the land of Denmark. From Southern Denmark University, I got myself a Bachelor Engineering Physics degree, but for my master's I went overseas. To Wright State University in Ohio I went, did research in terahertz. It was the latest trend. Electrical engineering with a 4.0. Being well educated is good, although it's quite important to understand the industrial status quo. At the Danish Technological Institute, to the industry, I made my tribute. I was a researcher and a consultant for almost 2 years, but I want to touch the stars. That's why I'm here.
Welcome.
Namaste. Myself, Abhilash from India. I have done my bachelor's in aeronautics. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Okay. Hearty congratulations to our seniors and welcome to my colleagues. And I'm in the hands of very experienced people. I want to learn a lot from you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Xu Eryi. I come from China, Beijing, and I graduated from a college, majored in statistics in 2010, and I've been working in a consulting company for 5 years. Okay, I come to ISU to learn more about space science and the space industry. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Misael. I'm from Brazil. I'm a physical therapist and I research on space long-term travel, mainly in the bone loss. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Buenos días a todos if it's anybody watching from Spain. I'm David. I'm a mechanical engineer. Well, first of all, congratulations to all MSS2015. There are not enough words to express how excited I am for being here. So thanks to everyone that make this happen. So I'm really, really excited. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Wenbin Zhang from China. I graduated in 2010 in Chinese Academy of Science, and I work in Chinese Academy of Space, space technology for 5 years. And to be honest, I come here, yes, in an accident, and yeah, actually, yeah. But my workmate Ri Hongyang, he's always MS maybe 2014. He told me his life in Strasbourg is his best experience. So I come here. And I hope, and I also appreciate as you give me the chance to know more about the space. And I hope I can spend an amazing year in here. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, my name is Robin. I come from Toulouse, France. So I hope I didn't come here by accident. I didn't think so. I've been working for a year with a consulting firm which is called SatConsult. And I had the opportunity to meet great people and learn a lot about space, and I came here to continue learning. And I graduated from business at Shanghai Normal University in 2014. And I would like to thank everyone here for inspiring me in the space. I have a big passion for space, and I think that's thanks to everyone here. And I would like to thank Mr. Valignon, who especially inspired me this year as my former boss and mentor. So thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Paul Eilif. I'm from the United Kingdom. I have a Master's in Engineering, Mechanical Engineering from Imperial College with 1 year spent at the Technical University of Aachen in Germany. I also have a PhD from the Tokyo Institute of Technology in Japan, and thereafter I was working for British Airways Engineering. So I'm very happy to be here. The reason I'm here is because I would like to pursue a career in mission design, but I think my new reason for being here is to have some very good international meals. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon everyone. My name is Farhan. I come from Malaysia. I have been working in the banking sector in Malaysia for the past 7 years. I did my finance before that. I feel very excited and looking forward to having a good time here and also to learn more about space here in ISU. Thank you very much.
My name is Nicholas Ochanda from Kenya. I work at the University of Nairobi. I have biology and town planning and geography as a background. And space was first introduced to me here at ICU. I can see George Haskell here, I remember, and many others. And it has been a long journey to come here, but finally I've made it, and I want to see Earth observation in some kind of networked environment over changing times. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Sama Hussain from England. I've completed a Master's in Aerospace Engineering with a year in University of Illinois. I'm here because I have a passion for space, like many other people, and I'd like to begin my journey of becoming an astronaut. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Alek Bartos. I'm an artist, visual artist from a family of artists, but I have a picture with me in kindergarten dressed like an astronaut. I keep it with me, it's signed by all the astronauts and cosmonauts I've met. So that's the proof that even from a family of artists with culture around that, books only about literature and nothing scientific. My passion with space is since then, and then I pursue my career in art, becoming a space stamp designer. I design all the stamps in Romania with space since 2007. And then I discovered astrophilately, which is the study of history of astronautics through postal documents, cancelled at the place and the date of the events. So I am now the chairman of Romanian Astrophilately for the Philatelic International Association. And I'm here to enhance my knowledge about history of astronautics, of course, for the networking and trying to promote and enhance also the possibilities to bring other people in our big and wonderful network, which I'm proud to be a part of. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm Wang Ming. I'm from China. I do some work on communication, business satellites, and background. I come here, want to learn more space knowledge, broaden my eyes, and improve my ability. I'm pleased to meet you all, and I like this place. Hope everything is okay. That's all. Thank you.
G'day, my name is Peter Thoreau. I'm from Brisbane, Australia. I just graduated last year with bachelor's in aerospace engineering and physics, and I'm just excited to get to know everyone. Staff and students alike. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Prashant. I'm from India. Pleased to meet you all, and I'm very proud to be here. Finally, let's begin war.
Hi everyone, I'm Shireen Bashir and I'm from Canada. I have a background in structural engineering and experience designing commercial buildings and renewable energy structures. I've always been interested in space, so I'm looking to transition into the aerospace engineering sector, and I was very excited to hear about the program at ISU and the fact that it's a holistic space education. And my ultimate goal is to participate in space exploration, and I believe ISU will take me one step closer to achieving that. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I'm Lu Hong from China. The last character of my name, Hong, means the space in Chinese. So I think maybe the destiny lead me to the International Space University. And well, I really love the space, love the stars and the moon, so I'm here. And another reason I'm here is that I haven't been in Europe. So when I was in China, I had a long planning of traveling around Europe. But when I arrived here, everybody told me that the project and the license would be very hard. So it really bad news for me. So I have to change my planning from traveling to studying here. Although I believe that it will be a grateful year to study here with you, with my friend. And finally, I want to say I had an appointment with Robin and David to cook Chinese food together. So if you like it, don't hesitate, come to us. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Huang Lei from Beijing, the capital city of China. I'm a TD&C engineer. TD&C stands for tracking, telemetry, and command. So my major work is to use ground station to tracking the satellite. I think it's pretty cool, I love my work. And actually I have taken part in all China's lunar exploration programs. Yeah. And I love everything about space. And I cherish this opportunity to study here. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I am Risku Ezra Hedima. I'm from Nigeria. I work with the Nigerian space industry. I had my first degree in electrical electronics engineering. I'm in ISU because it is international, intercultural, and interdisciplinary. But most importantly, I learned this morning that it is even intergenerational. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stan Caitler. I'm from Canada. I graduated almost 20 years ago. And I've spent last 15 years as a consultant in the IT industry in various different roles. And so I'm here to unleash my inner geek even more and pursue big data challenges in the space sector.
Hello everybody. First I would like to start, forgive me my funny shirt, but I think that's our little pelicans because I kind of dressed up in a hurry this morning. So my name is Adrian Babiš. You can call me Adrian. I come from Slovak Republic. This year I finished my study at the Slovak University of Technology, specializing in architecture. And I'm really excited to be here, so thank you very much.
So, hello everybody, my name is Driss Rimi. I'm from Morocco. I was raised and born in Casablanca. I came here in France 6 years ago to study engineering and robotics and automation. And then I made a Master of Business Administration, also here in Strasbourg. I'm very pleased and happy to be here, and I hope that this year will be a moment of learning and sharing our cultures, our differences, and learning from them. So thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Christensen and I'm from the United States of America. I have a degree in intelligence studies. I'm here today because no one out there believes in space like we do in here. And we need to change that, and I believe we can. My goal here is to make space more accessible for everyone outdoors. So together, I'm sure we can reach that goal. Thank you very much.
So, Chancellor, President, everyone, that concludes the introduction from the class of MSS16. I now hand you back to the President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Welsh, and thank you all for this plus minus 30 seconds introduction. We heard a lot of the international aspect. By the way, I never realized that maybe we have to call our university the International Hong University, for those who have listened very well. We are also always trying to have international speakers, and I'm very happy to announce the next speaker, which is from NASA, a person that many of you know, Tom Kremens. Just a few words about him. After studies in international relations, he had a number of government functions, but there is a sort of threat in your government functions. Even if it was not in NASA, there was always space somewhere involved. He then joined NASA and is also very well known to us in ESA and in Europe, because he was one of the negotiators of the International Space Station Agreement, the IGA. Afterwards, he expanded his functions and became Deputy Associate Administrator on International and Commercial Partnerships. And since very recent, I think 2014, Tim, you are appointed as the Senior Advisor to NASA Administrator Charlie Bolden, with emphasis on strategy and policy implementations. I also know that you are very long already linked to ISU. Virtually from the birth onwards, we met a few times, and from the birth onwards, you followed ISU, so you know ISU very well. Two other things. From today onwards, Tom is also the representative of NASA in the Board of Trustees. He's officially appointed. And one element, and unfortunately just now, my countryman, Mr. Van Eekhout, the ambassador from Belgium, left because I wanted to give him a sort of international flavor that Tom is also married with a Belgian, so to give the full international picture. So I, with pleasure, give you the floor to give an international aspect to this already international event. Please.
Well, good morning. It's a great honor to be here with you all after a few years away. It's been probably 6 years, but when I think back to 1988 and the first summer session up at MIT, it was short, 3 days, I'm really feeling the intergenerational effect that was talked about earlier. It goes by quickly. I did want to just touch on a few of the points around the other three I's that were mentioned this morning that ISU really, from its inception, and Todd Hawley, Bob Richards, who's probably here hopefully, and Peter Diamantis, the early vision which has been kind of built upon by everybody who's come since, and all the great contributions over the years from the folks that have been recognized and have spoken and in the room here. I think I agree with it's, and it's strange to call you Professor Dordan now, Jean-Jacques, but with Professor Dordan's assessment that this is really a timeless university, in the sense that the issues, the challenges, and the focus really transcend anything that we've uncovered heretofore, that's going to continue to open up into the future. So the opening quote from Thoreau was right on, and I commend you for sharing that this morning. That really kicked this off. When I think back 20 years ago, and the three I's in interdisciplinary and international and yes, and intercultural. Thank you. When I think back to those, as Jean-Jacques mentioned, it was a very simpler time in a way to do agreements. 20 years ago, I had just gotten done negotiating the shuttle Mir activities in the phase one, which with the Russians, which seemed very heady and very hard at the time, required some people with contracting background, people with technical backgrounds, engineering backgrounds, lawyers, lots of lawyers. And what seemed hard then to do has become so much more complex now when you fast forward it, and we're in the midst of trying to shift from low Earth orbit, from the space station, which was mentioned is really a stellar model of cooperation with all of our partners involved with that. But now, as we try to shift outwards towards cislunar space, the next phase of expanding human presence into the universe, what's involved now has become so much more complex in terms of the countries involved, companies involved. I spend a lot of time, have people who have economics backgrounds, an ISU alumnus actually, one of them who is on my integration team, that we have to be looking at from not just a international cooperation point of view, but from what does this mean for the future of economic growth of the planet and of the companies that are already participating and want to tackle these big challenges that have been heretofore the realm of governments for many, many years. So it's becoming more complex in that sense. We now cooperate internationally with, just to hit on the point of how much it's become an international arena, like this university and like all of you here. We had about 20 years ago, if I think back, about 100-ish active international agreements with probably under 15-ish countries. We're now up to 120 countries, and we've got over 700, almost 800 international active agreements now, which span our whole portfolio. Every aspect of NASA now has some element of international cooperation embedded in it. Everything from our science programs, 80% of all of our science satellites and probes have international activity to the human spaceflight side, which I'm much more familiar with. So on the interdisciplinary front, as I mentioned, it's no longer just engineering, a room full of engineers. When I used to do strategy back, as Walter mentioned, for our exploration program when it first started in 2004, but even preceding that back in the 90s with a thing called the Space Exploration Initiative, which I was involved with from the Department of Energy at the time. It was a very heavily laden with a lot of people who kind of looked like me, older than me at the time, so fair game if things catch up to you. Not a lot of diversity from a gender standpoint, not a lot of diversity in terms of backgrounds internationally of the folks. And I look now at the team I've assembled as part of my strategy team and strategy implementation team, kind of the agency integration group, and I've got 3 ISU alumnuses as a part of that, with different backgrounds, as I mentioned, an economist, another person with a finance and astrophysics, I believe that's her scientific background, as well as some other folks, a gentleman, a systems engineer from Ghana, a young man from India who's a NASA Tech Fellow graduate, but now is also a scientist and has been started 3 venture companies. So he helps kind of round out the interface between science, engineering, and business for me. And then we've got a visiting professor on loan from MIT who teaches in the engineering school there, but is helping us as we try to do our architecture work differently. And then a planetary scientist, an astrophysicist, and a life scientist just to round things out. So that's a very different kind of component of people than you would have seen not 20 years ago, 5 years ago probably, in terms of how we're attacking the future. I guess one other thing I just throw in the States, as the last young man for the 2016 class had mentioned about space not being seen enough. And in some ways, it's also not being seen through the lens of the 3 I's. We have what we're called the 3 C's, that space is becoming more competitive, contested, and congested. What a bummer. I mean, so, and what I hope through your efforts, hope through your continuing to keep your dreams alive and fueling your passion around these 3 I's, we can continue to make strides in really seeing the planet as the interconnected home that it is, and really tackling the big challenges that lay before us that are a lot bigger than the petty ones that take up, frankly, too much of our time back in Washington. So thank you again, and congratulations to the 2015 class as well.
Thank you very much, Tom, for this this international aspect from another side. We have seen 2 MSS classes. We are now going to have the last part of our event dedicated to the D class at the moment, which is already graduated 20 years ago. They have chosen a class speaker, and it's also very interesting if I look at the 2 speakers before, European, American, that they have chosen somebody who is nicely in between. Chris Todd studied policy and international relations. He did then a few policy-related functions, and then he did something very smart. He came to ISU. That was the smartest decision in his life, I guess. He immediately after his internship, he was hired by Boeing, and then from that function onwards, moved into operations at Lockheed Martin at that time. Lockheed Martin Space Operations as Director of International Commercial Activities. He never lost his roots, which also, by the way, are somewhere between America and Europe, the Isle of Man, and went back with a brilliant idea to use the orbital slots and the registration, and he established a company called Mansat. Mansat, and I also like a small hint, commercial hint, which has given 1% of his equity to ISU, a good example to follow. My congratulations for that one. He also continued to have some academic activities in international law, and is a very regular teacher at ISU in business. Founded a number of organizations, and one of the ones which are very close to ISU is the International Institute of Space Commerce, which is now doing a very, very strong effort to revitalize and give it a more modern aspect. I really appreciate it. There are many, many other functions and many other positions he has. I just mentioned the chairman of the SSPI, Society of Satellite Professional Industry. And of course, very important for us, he's also for many years already a leading member of the Board of Trustees, where he's also will be present tomorrow. As I try to get a little bit of a personalized side remark, as I mentioned already in the case of Jean-Jacques Dordain, Also, Chris Todd has a link with human spaceflight because he's married to an astronaut, Nicole Stott. So that's also another aspect which I think. May I invite Chris Todd to give the speech on behalf of the class?
Wow. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Mr. Chancellor, member of the boards of advisors, trustees, of faculty, the staff, everybody. Most importantly, alumni, and with great honor, our first class, master's class of 95-96, of which it is a true honor and a privilege to speak on behalf, and also to speak with all of you today, especially as I realize I'm the last speaker. And I'm directly between you and lunch. And I could stay here for hours. Just kidding. No, but really thank you. And what an amazing array of speakers we've had this morning. And just an incredible reflection of the international nature of ISU. But also, you heard another word, you heard family. And I think for those who are graduating, well done. For those who are coming in as the 2016 class, congratulations, because you're becoming part of a tremendous family. People talk about alumni, alumnus, an alma mater. I shock most of my fellow classmates when I use the Latin phrase, but alma mater, which means your nurturing mother. Because for most of you, when you've gone through life, you've had this passion and this interest in space. But very rarely have you found others like this. And speaking for us, and for myself, when we came to ISU 20 years ago, this was an experiment. But when we came, for the first time in our lives, we found other people as passionate about space as we were. And we became a family. I mean, 20 years ago. And thank you to those who support ISU. I mean, sincere thanks to ESA, to NASA, to the agencies, to all of the corporations, and to the people who have given their lives to support ISU. I mean, thank you. It makes a difference. You are making a difference in the world. 4,000 alumni, 824 of which, as of this morning, are master's graduates, along with the summer program, space studies program. I'll put some money in the tip jar for that one. And the Southern Hemisphere program, our executive courses, and hopefully soon again in the future, our executive MBA programs. So you've got part of this incredible family. It's a rarity. Use it. Cherish it. You go through this universe in this brief glimpse of time. 7 billion other human beings in the world, and yet these are the human beings you're in the room with today. They will become your family. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Truly hold on to this. 20 years, I promise you, goes in the blink of an eye. 20 years from now, I hope to be a doddering old man at the back and seeing you guys up here talking and supporting this university. Now, 20 years ago, we didn't have this campus. 20 years ago, ISU, the master's program, was just an idea. 20 years ago, the SSP program had only been going for about 7 years before we came around. So remember that. We were actually across the street. We were there without Wi-Fi. We were there at the beginning of the internet. Fortunately, there wasn't Facebook, and so you won't see many photographs of what we were doing as students. But I can guarantee you, and thank you, Kyle and Juan, I guarantee you it was really heartening to see that nothing has changed. But of course, there was no tram to the campus. It stopped at Bagazet, and just to let you know that, I mean, you know, it was tough times. We had to go to school every day in the snow. Uphill, both ways. It was, but fortunately, we were surrounded by incredible people and incredible teachers and incredible supporters who have truly made a difference in all of our lives. And here you are, with the 3 I's. We had the 3 M's, by the way. I think it was the multicultural, multinational, and multidisciplinary. And so there's growth even there. And the intergenerational is a fantastic idea. So thank you, Dr. Becker. But you're graduating in an industry that has fundamentally changed in the last 20 years, in part greatly because of ISU graduates. You are coming into the age of opportunity, where we take the finite and we make it infinite, where you have entrepreneurial space companies founded to a man and woman almost exclusively by ISU graduates. Your family that you're graduating into is incredible. It is unique. And I promise you, out of everyone else on this planet, you are the only ones thinking and acting using space to change the world collectively. It's one planet, one people, one university. And ISU is a tremendous family if you allow it. It is also a self-help university. The more you put in, the more you get out. The more work you do, the more rewarding it is. And that's one thing I'll finish with today, is to ask you as students and alumni, as you go forward into this family, to please always remember your alma mater. Always remember ISU. Come and teach here. Come and support here. Tell your friends and colleagues to come and study here. Hire graduates from ISU. We just, and Walter doesn't even know this yet, we just hired a 2007 grad this week from ISU, Dr. Jennifer Stone. And so, be a part of the family, embrace it, enjoy it. And then, you've heard of the International Space University, the lack of sleep university, and we were pioneers 20 years ago. And we had these little things called Ps for the pioneers. And there were many other reasons that we were called Ps. And tonight after the dinner, if you buy us lots of drinks, we'll share that with you. And we even have some of those old photographs and some of those old traditions. But it is really heartening to see the 2015 class and the 2016 class and our friends and colleagues doing so well. And here's to another 20 years of the master's program. Here's to 4,000 master's alumni in the future. And thank you, everybody, and thank you for having me today.
Well, you class of 1996, I cannot give you a diploma already yet, because you have one already. We have prepared something else for you, which I have a pleasure to give to all of you. Starting with Chris Todd, we have made a very special medal.
Yes. Oh, well, good. Thank you.
That's the first one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is great. Thank you. Open it up. Oh wow! Look at that. Lovely. Walter, thank you. Thank you.
So I would like to call the whole class in order. Can I call first Werner Ballock to come here? Werner? Philippe Claire. Then we have Michael Davies, who, by the way, is now also nominated as member of the Board of Trustees, as of another alumni. Michael. Yole Michela De Angelis, correct? Yeah. Please, please. Everything being correct, we should have Clovis de Matas. Lina Favela. David Gender, or no, Jean, Jean, of course, Jean. I will Yesterday evening, Jean says, "Call me Jean," and everybody says, "Of course we call you Jean. Everybody calls you Jean." So David Gender. Where are we now? Frederick Hessig? Ah, no, we are at Naima Hachsraoui. Thank you. So there we are, Frederick. Frederick Hessig. Thank you. Ray Kawashima. Where are we? Latif Lokman, yeah, from same. Latif. By the way, came the whole way from Singapore for this event. No, not really. Doesn't matter. it sounds good. Simona Mel. Next one, John Mugwe. John. Then we have Gayu Pagel. John Riedman. John? Danny Saint Pierre. Christopher Stott we already had. I'm just looking at the alphabet. Just Laurent Valignon. Regular lecturer at ISU, and thanks for sending one of your staff and encouraging him. And last but not least, Oliver Vogt. Oliver? Thank you very much. The reason why we asked you to be here is because we want to take a group photo of the group, if you don't mind. Gentlemen.
J'étais un petit peu devant. Just like pousse-toi un peu cette fois-ci. More or less.
Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Here we go.
Enjoy.
Yeah, because we're all just lining up.
Voilà.
Yeah.
Can we ask you to stay, because it would be also nice to have a picture of the...
One on the George.
Yeah, George. George, and
George.
And Patrick.
That's
right.
George Patrick.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on now. Come on. Bonsoir. Where are you going, Patrick? Come on. You're stay.
Have you associated with us?
Patrick, you should join us too. You really should.
Voilà.
I can make a speech now.
So I think we now reach the physical capacities of the wide angle. So I guess we have to stop now. We should not end, if you can take your places, we should not end this event, of course, without thinking about the founders of ISU. The founders of ISU could not be present here, but they have nicely made a video, which we are going to try to show if everybody can sit down. Then we have a message, a video message, which I would like to show you as a surprise. So Bob Richard and Peter Diamandis, founders of ISU.
So hello, International Space University. This is Bob Richards here. I'm talking to you from NASA Ames at Moffett Field in California. And I've got somebody here with me that wants to say hello.
Hey ISU, Peter Diamandis here, and I'm sitting in a hotel room someplace south of San Diego. But through the miracle of technology, it's a pleasure for us both to be here.
It's great to be with you digitally here, Peter. Let's say hello. All right. All right, so I can't believe it. Here we are in 2015 celebrating the 20th anniversary of our master's program. And as I understand it, there's basically 3 classes meeting today, our 1996 master's program. And hello to all of you who helped kick off that program at a time when ISU was, let's say, very formative. And we have the graduation of the MSS2015 class. Congratulations, everyone. That's fantastic. And the incoming friends we have to the ISU family coming into the MSS2016 program. So what a fantastic gathering.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible because, again, and as you guys know, back when Todd Hawley, Bob Richards, and I started ISU back in 1987 at the founding conference, and it's hard to believe. I can't count that high.
No, we don't count the decades anymore.
But the original vision was we started with one program at MIT, which was a big risk. I had no idea whether it was going to work. We mortgaged every relationship we had and borrowed on it. I had 104 students from 21 countries, and then the next year, miraculously, off to Strasbourg But our vision, Bob had the original vision for the space generation, and that organized us together to form ISU's founding conference. And then we, really had a vision of the summer programs and then the campus. And the master's program is the heart and soul and heartbeat of that campus, and soon the orbital campus.
And we always talked about 3 phases of ISU, right, Peter? And we started very modestly. When we talked about, we just wanted to have SSP. Back then, we called it the summer session program. Before we had gone down to the southern hemisphere to Australia, and they said, "This isn't the summer, guys." And so SSP became the Space Studies program. But the idea was to borrow other people's bricks and mortar. We just didn't have the capital back then to create facilities. And so that model was something we worked on for 5 years, and that led to the permanent campus era, right, where we wanted to have a home. And there you are at our home in Strasbourg, at our beautiful campus, in our second phase. But the third phase is what we're all working towards, our orbital facilities, where ISU follows humanity as it expands outside Earth's biosphere and expand our economic sphere of Earth outward to the moon and the asteroids and beyond.
So the good news, guys, is there's never been a more exciting time than right now to be involved in space. I mean, if you think about the convergences that are coming on, right? First of all, we have more capital being privately invested in space than ever before. We have a whole flock of centimillionaires and billionaires investing heavily in the space industry. We also have the impact of all this exponential technologies of 3D printing, of AI, of network sensors, the whole miniaturization. I saw one study, Bob, you may have seen, that by 2020, it's expected that there will be, on the order of, the numbers range, but like 4,000 to 10,000 microsats being launched and in orbit. Now, of course, if Elon puts up his sort of global Skynet, that account will account for a few thousand. But I was with Paul Jacobs last night, CEO of Qualcomm, and they're right on schedule for the design, build, and launching of 800 plus spacecraft. They just raised $500 million to do that deployment. So it's really extraordinary. And we were just talking about launch capacity being driven, right? I mean, you're buying launches, I'm buying launches. It's never been easier to predict where that's going.
Right. So we're going from, so this is the era, we've talked about it for a long time, where we're living at the cusp of the permanent human expansion into outer space. And this is the moment in time when that's happening. And, what an amazing time to be involved. And, Peter, you and I are kind of orphans of Apollo, where we were inspired by the Apollo program, and just, we had heroes, we had frontiers, we had the boundaries of space were infinite. We could do anything. And it's taken a few decades of frustration, but we're taking it into our own hands together with our thousands of ISU Mafia family friends around the planet and making it happen. We're going to make this happen together.
Yeah, so, I mean, from my standpoint, the convergence we're seeing right now, where government programs are beginning to have some really meaty projects to work on. I mean, the discovery of planets around every star system we look at. I think we're very close to seeing the discovery of microbial life on Mars or in the oceans of Europa. We are, I was just with Yuri Milner, who has committed $100 million for the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. At the same time, you and I are seeing folks like Jeff Bezos and Paul Allen and Richard Branson and Elon Musk and many others investing in launch capacity. We're seeing you just said this a second ago, we're going from scarcity to abundance in launch, which means that the number of experiments that can be done, right? I mean, the challenge has been for all of human space history, not very long, 50, 60 years now. We have had just a small number of experiments done every year, and those experiments were done by government agencies at huge cost with huge risk aversion. But now we're starting to see dozens, soon hundreds, and eventually thousands of experiments being done by entrepreneurs building and flying stuff 100 or 1,000 times cheaper than ever before. And that's where the real fun starts to happen.
Absolutely. So, we're very excited about being part of the ISU family. The story of ISU could never be told by just one person. Hundreds and thousands of people that have come together over the decades to make it happen. It was a dream, and the strongest message is that you bring together amazing people from around the world. You explain to them that anything is possible, and you give them the data and the tools to accomplish amazing things, and then stand back. And that's what ISU is all about. And all of you have come together to change the world. And when I think back to the amazing friendships, the bonds that were created between Peter and Todd and I as students, sadly Todd's not with us, but my bond of friendship, my lifelong bro, Peter, is, we're still taking over the solar system, and it's not going to end there, I guess, at some point.
You take the left side, I'll take the right side.
Okay, that sounds great. And, I actually, right behind me here, I have the original ISU Credo. Take a look at that.
That's great, Todd.
Yeah, and down you see our signatures here. And that's a very important document. And I've just discovered, I didn't know this until this moment, that on the back of it is a picture of Peter, Todd, and I up on a stage with some of the earliest years of ISU. Isn't that something? So this is very important, everyone, that we go into the universe in a way that humanity can expand and conquer new frontiers without conquering each other. The idea of life, capital L, is very important to us, the sanctity of it, the respect for it here on planet Earth and everywhere. I think we're going to find it outside of Earth. We're in an amazing adventure together, and I just congratulate all of you for coming together at our beautiful campus in Strasbourg. I know Peter and I both wish that we could be there with you, but through the magic of this technology that we thought we had to create back in the day, but thankfully it was created for us, we're able to at least be with you in spirit and in heart tonight, and I really, really appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you.
Yeah, and I'll just add to what Bob says and say thank you to the faculty and to the staff and to the entire team at ISU that is keeping this dream alive and pushing it forward, because what we created ISU for, the real fulfillment of that is now these next 2 decades. It's the next 20 years when the human race is moving irreversibly off into space. I believe Elon when he says his target is 12 years from now to get private humans on the surface of Mars. And then on top of that, we have a multitude of friends working on different other approaches, whether it's getting people to the moon or to private space stations. It is the most exciting time ever in humanity's journey to space.
So let's all aspire to the stars with wisdom, vision, and effort. Sound good?
That's good.
Okay, buddy. Take care. This is Bob Richards signing off from Moffitt,
Peter Hernandez signing off from some much less interesting hotel than Bob. Your office looks great.
Live longer, brother. Bye-bye.
That brings us then to an end of an experimental day. We never had 3 MSS classes. I think even the visionary MSS96 class would never have expected that 20 years later there would be a split screen Skype. So you can imagine for MSS15 what there will be in 20 years from now. I don't know. I hope you can imagine it. It was an experiment. It ran a little bit over time, which we were afraid of, but I think we would like to have your feedback on this, if this is something which you liked. It was clear that we would not be able to get it in, but I think we packed a lot in a decent time. I'm now not, with 3 MSS classes, I'm not going to do the mistake what president before me did. At a certain moment, with 2 MSS classes, one president said, the bar is open. And by the time that the guests were at the bar was closed. So with 3 MSS classes, I'm not taking that risk. Quietly go down, and we come, but wait for us, please. So with that, I would like to officially close this experimental generational session which we tried for the first time this year. Thank you all for coming, and thank you all for staying.